Okay, go. He is hot. Mm. Oh, coffee is good, man. Thank you, coffee boy. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Training camp is underway for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rookies have reported this weekend. The veterans report in like a day or two, approximately, to the best of my knowledge. So training camp getting underway, and training camp getting underway in full earnest this upcoming week. When we talk about the Jaguars, we should see an improvement in the offense. I'm still very concerned about the O-line. On the other side of the ball, I'm concerned about the D-line. I think the linebackers and defensive backs of the Jaguars, most of them put in a lot of effort. A lot of effort. If the D-line can be corrected on the defensive side of the ball, it's gonna help the back end guys too. But right now, I'm not concerned with the D-line. Now that's going to be Anthony Campanelli's. That's going to be his big deal all season long. The new defensive coordinator. Good luck to Anthony Campanelli, the DC. I hope he's the best DC the Jags have had in a number of years. And I got a feeling he's got a shot at that. He's a young guy, but he's actually one of the, shall I say it, one of the more mature and older coaches. I think he's in his early 40s. Liam Cohen, we're not going to talk about age. We're going to get into this thing offensively. You've got a guy, Brian Thomas Jr., who's absolutely a baller. And he's faster. He's absolutely faster than everybody thought he was. How Balky got lucky. He was still sitting there at 23 after Balky traded back from 18 to 23 in the actually in the 2024, the April of 2024. You got a rookie wide receiver, actually finishes in the top 5 in the league in receiving yardage, well over 1,200 yards receiving, multiple touchdowns. A guy with a lot of big play potential, and we saw big plays from Brian Thomas Jr. in 2024. Now you got a Heisman Trophy winner, and the fans are expecting as much or more from him than they got from Brian Thomas Jr. in 2024. The tight end, Brenton Strange, is a guy that got a chance to develop. If he can hang on to the football, Brenton. I know you may have had a couple of fumbles late in the year when you got more of a chance to play. But Evan Ingram was hurt. Now Evan Ingram is in Denver playing with the Broncos. So Brenton Strange, it's going to be you got a chance to have a heck of a year. So we'll see what happens. He's going to get, if he stays healthy, he's going to get footballs all year long. The red zone offense is key. Liam Cohen, I think that's one of the reasons why he's a head coach now, is because I believe the stats were around 65% that the Tampa Bay Bucks scored touchdowns in the red zone. That equates to wins. More touchdowns, not quite as many field goals, but the Jags got a good field goal kicker when you get into those field goal opportunities. Trevor's got to protect the ball, as we've been saying it for weeks. He's got to protect the football, but my concern is more with even the offensive line. You got some new guys coming in. Hainsey will probably be the center. Right guard is probably going to be the free agent from Baltimore, McCary. You got to think that the rookie drafted in the 3rd round out of West Virginia, that he's going to push for one of those guard spots. Wyatt Milam. He was the Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. SEC football, man, there's a lot of talk. Georgia's retooled their roster. Somebody sent me a message about the Florida Gators schedule. Oh, yes, it's tough again, just like last year. But then there's a lot of teams in the SEC that are playing tough schedules, some more than others as far as the toughness of the schedule. got a note on the Florida Gators schedule. And they got Florida State on the schedule, and Florida State had a terrible year last year. They're not even mentioned as one of the top teams on Florida's schedule. But here's who Florida's got on their schedule: Texas, Georgia, Texas A&M, Miami, Tennessee, LSU, and Ole Miss. When I count those up, that's seven. I mean, that's just seven opponents that you better win the close games or you're going to be in trouble. 7 rugged and tough games, more than rough and rugged. It's a rough and rugged, tough SEC, Southeastern Conference. The Gators got a tough schedule. I just ran it down for you. As I mentioned, they got Texas. My gosh, if you look at this thing, it's got Texas and Georgia, Texas A&M, Miami, Tennessee, LSU, and Ole Miss. And we all know the rest of the SEC's got tough schedules too. The fact that Florida also has Miami, who may or may not be a top 10 team, and who knows, their quarterback's been drafted in the NFL now. They may or may not be a top 10 team, but a lot of people are projecting Miami to still be tough. And that's a non-conference game. That's not even an SEC game. And, you know, Miami and Florida State had their chance to come into the conference. When was it? Late 80s, early 90s. They didn't want any part of the SEC. But Florida's playing Miami. Florida's still playing Florida State. And the Gators are playing Miami more frequently now than they were. Let me stop the music here, man. We had the music rocking on there. Had like a guitar solo going on here. But the SEC, Florida Gators schedule is going to be tough. Man, it's going to be tough. And we gave you the tough games. Maybe I better give them to you again since we had the music rolling so much. Florida Gators notable games in 2025 include Texas, Georgia, Texas A&M, Miami, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss. That is a rock'em sock'em schedule again. You know, like last year, everybody said Florida had the toughest schedule in the country, and they may have the toughest schedule again, according to those in the know that own college football, are actually close to the ones that own college football. I don't own it. We just talk about it. NIL is not my favorite thing. College football has changed a lot, but if the Florida Gators stay healthy, I will tell you this. One thing I will tell you this about the Florida Gators, and we want to analyze their roster a little bit more. I mean, this is just July the 19th, but I kept getting the word. Florida's getting more 4-star and 5-star wide receivers who want to play with DJ Lagway. And if DJ Lagway's healthy, plays and starts over 90% of the time, the Gators are going to have a shot at winning the games. Got to win the close games, though. The SEC is very, very tough. So, you know, bear that in mind. Alex Nunnery on some of his videos, he's going to be talking semi-pro football, 8-man football outdoors, 60-yard field. In hot weather, in hot Florida weather. And Alex has been covering, you know, the semi-pro football. You know, there's a couple of leagues that are interesting. There's the EAFL, probably the top semi-pro football league, where we know Ellis Smith, 38-year-old defensive lineman, edge rusher, won a championship with Tarpon Springs, I believe with the Tarpon Springs Pirates. Now there's another league, and I hear Ellis Smith's playing on one of the teams in the league too, the ELAF. They play on a 60-yard field, hot weather, in the deep part of the heat in the summer. Today it's supposed to get up to 97 here in Jacksonville, Florida. I got to drink my water, got to drink my Gatorade, and stuff along those lines. So Alex Nunnery covers semi-pro football. Alex, I know you've done rugby stuff, but give me some updates on the rugby team too, if you would, if you don't mind. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are 21 games over 500, We cover them on the website at bigjreport.com. They're up in Gwinnett. They just beat the Stripers. They just beat the Stripers by a run on Friday night, July the 18th. And the Jumbo Shrimp are now 21 games over 500. They're going to be in the AAA playoffs. And there's actually a game that's going to be scheduled at the tail end, like late in September. I believe the Pacific Coast League champion will play the International League champion, the Jumbo Shrimp part of the International League. You're going to have a AAA championship game between the Pacific Coast League and the International League. And I believe it's a one game winner take all late in September. So AAA baseball is pretty exciting. And right here in Jacksonville, Florida, you got a AAA baseball team and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. And as of Saturday morning, July the 19th, they are 21 games over 500. Should I tell you what they did in the last game? AAA baseball. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp 3, the Gwinnett Stripers 2. Final score on Friday, July the 18th of 2025. This was a road game up in North Georgia. The Jumbo Shrimp now 57-36 and having a great season in 2025 in Jacksonville, Florida. Heard some thunder and lightning yesterday on Friday, July the 18th, and now the chance of rain has diminished some. Currently clear skies and a warm 75 degrees this morning in Jacksonville, Florida at 6:15 a.m. On Saturday morning, July the 19th of 2025. Rain chance now less than 20% now in North Florida. High today, a hot 97. Low late at night, near 75 late tonight and in the morning. Winds mainly west, but becoming south at times at about 3 to 9 miles per hour. That is some of the latest weather information. We want to thank our sponsors, Saucer Realty and Capital, for your real estate needs, whether it's home, residential, business, or commercial real estate. Go to our website at bigjreport.com. Please do that. Go to our website at bigjreport.com. Scroll the homepage near our local weather reports for North Florida, and you'll find a link for Saucer Realty and Capital. Larry Saucer, man, great real estate guy. Whether you're buying or selling, contact Saucer Realty and Capital. There's a link for their website at bigjreport.com. Scroll our homepage right near or in between the weather reports. You'll find the link for Saucer Realty and Capital. I want to thank Mad Max for all the requests that he's been playing me. Sometimes he'll play a request and I'll say, yeah, that's the one I wanted. Max will play Skinnerd, ARS, Steely Dan. Great music. Wednesday nights, the madmaxmix.weebly.com. There's links for Max's show on our website at bigjreport.com in the Neighbors 2 section and also in the Outside the Box section. Check out JC's show the very next night on Thursday night, live from the pub with JC. He plays requests for me too. JC, I'm going to send you, I got another group I want you to play for me. JC's been playing a lot of Steely Dan for me. He's played Chicago. What a great show. JC's got a tremendous show. He'll play Def Leppard on his show. That's on Thursday nights. And JC's live from the pub on Thursday nights at LakeUpAllTheHits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. There are links for JC's live from the pub show, the Lake Eufaula Hits link on our website in the Neighbors 2 section. And I know we're going to add one of JC's ads to other areas of the website as well. So we appreciate you guys tuning in today, taking a look at some North Florida entertainment. Let's do that now. The Fix going to be at St. Augustine. JC's played some Fix songs for me. The Fix, August 21st in Clearwater, Florida. August 22nd, Hollywood, Florida. St. Augustine, Florida on August the 23rd. Then they go up into the Carolinas on August the 24th. Let's take a look at some other shows coming up on the Teal Shirt Report podcast. JC is I think he's kind of into the yacht rock a little bit, or some of his listeners are. Yacht Rock Summer Tour featuring Fireball, Pablo Cruz, Pure Prairie League at the Florida Theater in Jacksonville, Florida. Actually coming up, is this right? Do we have the right date here? Yeah, it's this Sunday, actually. Right, I'm checking the calendar. This Sunday evening, July the 20th of 2025, at 7 o'clock p.m. in the Florida Theater, right here in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. So if you want some yacht rock, and JC, sometimes he'll classify Steely Dan as yacht rock, maybe a little bit. I'm not going to give them that classification. Steely Dan is more rock, jazz, fusion, is how I'll term Steely Dan. But they've got some, they go way back where their sound changed. They added different musicians from project to project, album to album, CD to CD. But my definition of Steely Dan is rock, jazz, fusion, some pop, some blues, what have you, but rock, jazz, fusion to me describes Steely Dan. Now, these particular groups are on the Yacht Rock Summer Tour featuring Fireball, Pablo Cruz, and Pure Prairie League. I was never a big Pure Prairie League fan, but I'll tell you this, JC, the early days of album rock radio, Pure Prairie League was being played on some of those stations, as well as Fireball, Pablo Cruz. Pablo Cruz is probably more pop, but the Yacht Rock Summer Tour is featuring a good variety, Fireball, Pablo Cruz, and Pure Prairie League at the Florida Theater in Jacksonville, Florida on Sunday evening, July the 20th. That's this Sunday evening, July the 20th of 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. Coming soon, Brad Paisley will be in concert in St. Augustine, Florida on Saturday, August the 2nd of 2025 at 7:30 p.m. at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. And JC, here's a good one. This is a good one. UB40 and the Fix at the St. Augustine Amphitheater on Saturday night, August the 23rd of 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets selling fast. UB40 is performing at the St. Augustine Amphitheater on August the 23rd of 2025 with special guest, The Fix. Also, another great event, tickets for Mickey Dolenz, the last surviving member of the Monkees. Tickets for Mickey Dolenz and the Monkees, Songs and Stories, will be performed by Mickey Dolenz at the Florida Theater on December the 5th of 2025. They're on sale now, and the guy's 80 years old. It might be your last chance to see him. I'll just put it like that. So those are some of the shows going on. And some of these groups that we tell you about, if you're in another town, they may be coming to your town or nearby. So, bear that in mind. Mickey Dolenz in December. Did I give you the exact date? I believe it was December the 5th. It is. Tickets for Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees, Songs and Stories at the Florida Theater on December the 5th of 2025 are on sale now. Training camp is opening up for the Jags. Rookies, I understand, are there now, reporting now. Veterans reporting over the weekend in the next day or two. This has been episode show number 39. I want to salute Larry Zonka, who wore number 39. He may be the most famous number 39. I know the Jaguars had some defensive backs that were good that wore number 39. But Larry Zonka, the big fullback, who actually in his career I know he had at least one season where he got 1,000 yards rushing. He was the difference in the Super Bowl against the Minnesota Vikings. And, the Dolphins won 2 Super Bowls back-to-back, beat the Redskins and the Vikings, and had that perfect season of 1972. We'll salute Larry Zonka, number 39, here on episode show number 39 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Hey, you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Jacksonville Armada are now out of the playoffs, by the way. They got knocked out, but they did win the Gulf Coast Conference part of the playoffs. They got the trophy for the Gulf Coast Conference Championship. And then as the playoffs moved into like the southern region, they did lose to the team out in Texas 1-0. That info is on our website at bigjreport.com. Scroll our sports section. Thank you to our sponsors, Sauce Realty and Capital, the MadMaxMix.weebly.com, Lakeview Fall of Hits, where JC plays the songs on Thursday nights live from the pub. Mad Max plays great music on Wednesday nights at the Mad Max Mix, on Wednesday night at madmaxmix.weebly.com. So again, check out those shows at madmaxmix.weebly.com on Wednesday nights, JC live from the pub on Thursday nights at lakeviewfallofhits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. Special thanks to our executive producer, JC. JC, thank you very much. Want to thank Alex Nunnery, and Alex is on this channel doing semi-pro football reports, rugby reports. Check out Alex Nunnery on this channel. This channel is the Teal Shirt Report podcast from bigjreport.com. Special thanks to our executive producer, JC, also Alex Nunnery. John Gaylor, thank you so much for the conversation and all the help you've given us with our, of course, podcast, the Teal Shirt Report podcast from bigjreport.com. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. The subscribers are picking up now, and hey, we appreciate that. This has been episode show number 39 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Oh, and the coffee has been outstanding right here on the show. Javatia Gold Roast. You guys have a great day, okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the Teal Shirt Report podcast. I am your host, Scott, for the Teal Shirt Report podcast, and I'm out at under 22 minutes.